Scott Morrison is being criticised again over his Christian faith. The trigger for this is a video released to the media yesterday that shows him speaking to other Pentecostal Christians at a recent Gold Coast event. Now, the Prime Minister didn't make a big deal of this. This was a private event, effectively. This was him talking with the people who share his faith. But it's out there now, and it's interesting.
Social media has its virtues and its values and enables us to connect with people in ways we've never had before. Terrific. But those weapons can also be used by the evil one, and we need to call that out.
The evil one. Yes, he says social media might do some of the devil's work. Ain't that the truth? And he also says that when he's comforted people after natural disasters as Prime Minister, apart from hugging them and patting them on the back, he's been praying for them at the same time.
Been in evacuation centres where people thought I was just giving someone a hug and I was praying. And putting my hands on people in various places, laying hands on them and praying in various situations. I was just in Calvary where the cyclone has just gone through. Yeah. In all of those places, Wayne, you're right. I mean, it's been quite a time. It's been quite a time. And God has, I believe, been using us to, in those moments, to be able to provide some relief and comfort and just some reassurance.
Now, I think that's kind of nice. Whether you believe or not, it's nice that those who do believe will pray for you. Just as it's nice when atheists offer their good thoughts and best intentions, or hippies offer you good vibes. It's not creepy. It's not an intrusion. It's not faith healing. It is empathy. But yes, no surprise, of course, ScoMo has come under fire, especially on social media, actually, which kind of proves one of his points. One of the ABC's favourite commentators, Jane Caro, actually shared the story with a word of warning about theocracies. Can you believe it? A theocracy. What, like Iran? Australia might turn into a theocracy because a Christian is Prime Minister. This is not only ridiculous and nutty, given most of our Prime Ministers have been Christian. Even Bob Hawke only went so far as to say he was agnostic. But this is also deeply intolerant. This is blatant discrimination, religious discrimination by Caro against the Prime Minister, motivated, of course, only by her hateful politics. But what about this? This comes from Father Bob Bauer, an Anglican priest, no less. He says this goes beyond church and state, and that what ScoMo does in praying for others is actually spiritual abuse. Father Rob Bauer, spiritual abuse. Now, I've had this priest on this station before to discuss his loopy views and his constant virtue signalling and his political preening, because I want to hear other views and challenge them. I believe in open debate. But how to reconcile this? Father Rob Bauer, you're condemning a fellow Christian because he prays for others who are in a difficult situation. Isn't it wrong to condemn a Christian for doing that? Isn't that an unchristian thing to do? Isn't it unfair? This seems to be pretty hateful. And it seems to be motivated, in the case of Father Rob Bauer, it seems to be motivated by earthly politics. This is sad stuff. Still, it's not for me to judge. Judge not, that ye be not judged. Criticism based on faith seems to be off the agenda, by the way, for all other faiths. In other words, if you're not Christian, it's as it should be. Faith is your business. For instance, the ABC has praised Labor's Ed Husic for championing his Muslim faith in politics. And fair enough too. The SBS also could find only praise and support for Husic, who as a politician says he's also a man of faith. Again, that's good. Husic is a good man. I know him reasonably well. And this treatment from the media is fair, tolerant and reasonable. But why is it so different for Christians? Why is discrimination against Christians allowed by the woke? Actually, it's worse than that, because you can only be criticised for your Christianity if you also happen to be a conservative. You see, Kevin Rudd was one of the most deeply religious Prime Ministers we've ever had, but he wasn't criticised for his faith. Penny Wong is a devout Christian, and she's not criticised. Joe Biden is a practising Catholic, just like Tony Abbott, for instance, but Biden is not slammed about his faith in this country the way Abbott was. And on it goes. So Morrison, being Christian and right of centre, he's fair game. He gets unfair criticism, even from Green left Anglican priests. This is how politics is practised in this age of enlightenment. God help us.